welcome to Sojo, the spring mode. As I record this, the cherry blossoms in Hirosaki are just getting ready to blossom, so it's kind of just the right time for getting into the spring mode. The intention of this video is to give you, if you're a beginner, kind of an idea of what to expect in the Sojo mode, and otherwise, even if you're not a beginner, just to kind of give you the basic fingerings and also the Netori for Sojo, just to kind of start to get back into the mode and get ready for the next 3 months of lessons that we're going to do together. So let me go ahead and grab the fingering chart there for you so you can see it. And we'll go through the tones. First, let's just listen to them. All right, remember when you're playing the Hitoyogiri, you're going to play not so kari or not so meri, right? So you can kind of close all the holes and play it right about in the middle of its range. That gives you something like an ancient A at 430 hertz instead of 440, something like that. I don't know if that's what I'm playing. I'm not that strict with my ears, or I don't think I even have that ability. But you want to be right about in the middle of the flute because we do some meri and kari action as we play. And this is what the scale sounds like on the flute. It's just kind of like the Minyo scale on shakuhachi, right? Relatively speaking, it's the same thing there. So all holes closed, that's the one to the right, and that's fu. And Hitoyogiri numbering, the bottom hole is number 5. So open hole 5, and you've got ho, go a little bit kari there. Right, so again, fu to hole is like kind of a little bit kari on hole. It's hold straight and open up hole 4 for u. Open up hole 3, that gives you e. Now ya, we're going to put hole 3 back down, and this is called hole 1, right? The 4th on top is hole number 1, so open up hole 1 and go a little bit kari. So again, transitioning from e to ya, you're going to go a little bit kari again. Keep that back hole closed. Right, now that you're in this position, hold it steady for ta. Open everything, but close your pointer fingers, right, on both hands. If you have a hard time with this tone, you're probably a little too close to the mouthpiece and the air isn't getting in there. So back off a little bit, like that. Right, then you should be able to get it. He is like in other modes. The bottom 3 holes are closed. Right. And we may use this sometimes. It doesn't happen very often, but you have kan, right? And that's the middle 3 holes. The bottom and the top are open. And it's quite a bit kari. Right. Usually it's played at that tone. Okay, so here we go. Fu ho u e ya ta. We'll just do that first octave there. Let's do it again. One more time. All right, Right, so remember there's kind of bigger gaps between the tones from fu to ho, as well as e to ya. So you'll find yourself getting more kari and then a little more kari again. Right? Right, little kari. A little more kari. Right, and there you have the basic tones of Sojo. Alright, so now that we have the basic tones, we can try the Netori. I'll play it once for you just so you can hear it. Let's just take the first line to start off. Right, you might have some questions, but don't worry, we'll go through it tone by tone. First, you've got ho-u, right? That's easy. Ho-u. Try that again. Ho-u. Nice and slow this time. Next, you've got ya. And the next character you'll notice is not on our fingering chart. That's an E. Here, E means slide up to the next tone. E will have different meanings in different contexts, but when you see it in red like it is here, it means slide up to the next tone. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide open the back hole and let the tone rise a bit from ya. Ya, E. Right. To keep it from going too high, you still might have to bring it a little bit meri as you slide it open. And then fu, ya, e, fu. Then e, ho. Right, from ho-u to e, ho. Right, let's play it just up to that point. Let's try that again. And then the next thing you'll see is a ru. Ru is also not in our fingering chart because it's another one of those tones that kind of varies between different circumstances. In this case, ho-ru is telling you to do a stumbling effect up to the next tone. So instead of going ho-u, you're going to go ho-ru. Right, so we're going to play ho, close hole 5, and then once it's closed, open hole 4. You have to go a little bit kari to get that u tone. And that's called a korobi. Horu. You get that extra tone in between, sounding like it's stumbling. Korobu means to stumble. All right, so that's kind of what it sounds like and what it's called. And then close. To, for now, you can think of it as the same thing as fu. It can have different nuances to it. That's why we have fu and to. Generally, to can be tsutsune, like kind of you play it warmly. It can also be played a little bit meri, right? So it may be that we play this. Or something like that. But you don't need to worry about that for now. Let's just play the first line of the Netori nice and straight. next. That is the Netori, but next we have the Kaeshi, and that's the second line. The top bold character says Kaeshi. Kaeshi is something that we play to kind of return to the bass tone of the mode. So you've got hi, ya, fu, ya. Remember, hi is the bottom 3 holes closed. And then you kind of hit and open at the same time to ya. You're going to hit the back hole closed and open up. Slow motion. In Sojo, fu can mean a couple of things. Here, it just means hit hole 1. Right, so you're going to hit hole 1 and then repeat ya. And, well, let's do that one more time. You got ta, hi, ta, ya, fu, ya. Same thing, hitting 1 on that fu tone. Fu can mean all holes closed. It can also mean a hit. And lots of the times when you see ya, fu, ya, right, a ya, fu sandwich, it's going to be hit 1 in that case. Ta, hi, ta, ya, fu, ya. Okay, so Netori with the Kaeshi. Here we go. Oops, sorry. Here we go again. There you go, that's your Netori. So just to wrap up, let's play it one more time, and hopefully by then you'll be starting to feel like you're in the Sojo mode. Right, remember, it takes a little bit of time to get the cymbals and the fingerings down, so if you're just starting with it, take your time, play it again, and play it again. Let's play it again. Right, and generally speaking, Sojo is a ryo modality mode. Right, ryo meaning that it's kind of the gentle, peaceful, feminine, joyful, kind of a brighter sound inspired by Chinese court music. Right, so the ryo modalities in general have a little bit of a brighter sound to them, so that you won't really hear half tones happening or anything like that. And again, the overall feeling of this is kind of like a flower blossoming. You can even see that in the way we play the scale, right? It starts neutral, then it kind of raises up kari, and it gets a little more kari, and a little more kari, right? Right? Just like a flower blossoming. So, perfect for spring. Hope you enjoy the flowers. So the video you just saw was just a small part of what we do on Hitoyogiri community lessons. We meet 4 times a month, working together to both learn and breathe new life into these ancient pieces from medieval Japan. While the main focus is on playing, we also take time to learn from other musical traditions of the era, including Shomyo Buddhist chant, Gagaku, and No music. N-O-H, right? Not no music. I always want to make jokes there, which are all related to Hitoyogiri in their own ways. The cost is $50 per month, and you can either attend live or just watch the videos yourself afterwards. Lots of people who are kind of introverted like me prefer to do it that way. That's fine too. But there's always time after each session for questions and individual attention, as well as community discussion on the Discord platform. So I really love sharing this with people. It's been a lot of fun, over the past decade or so, kind of researching this and trying to resurrect this ancient tradition. And I'm really grateful that I'm able to use that to support my family a little bit as well. If you're inclined to join us, we would love to have you. You can sign up through the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.